Hey, everybody. Welcome to another listed show. We have a great guest on. We, of course, have my co host, Kellii, and we
Hey,
have a wonderful guest by the name of Riley Mobz. A very,
Mobs.
Mom, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Hey, Mobs
I'm
kind of
sorry.
sounds better. I kind
that
of
could
like
be your new
Mobs better
name.
anyway.
We're giving you a new name. That's it.
The smoke fills the room. These drinks got the best of me. Am I feeling you when you dancing next to me? I've been in these streets for far too long and now.
Riley Mobz.
I love it.
Oh, Lord.
How you guys
Yes.
doing? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Good to
Thanks
have
for being
you. How
here.
are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. My cat just drug a whole bunch of bags out from the sink. So I had to like
Mhm.
hurry up and put them all back before the meeting. So I didn't know if I was gonna make it on time, but I did. So yeah, I'm good.
Well, my
I'm
cat
glad I
keeps
made it.
opening the door, so just in case the door opens, it's my cat.
Cats are funny.
Right. So
Very much.
you're a singer, songwriter,
Mhm,
multi-talented artist, actor. You own a production company. So tell us a little bit
mhm.
about yourself and what you do and what you're working on right now.
For sure. So back in 2018, me and my best friend Juan Gomez started the company Young Creatives. And it was mainly just something that spawned out of us doing a bunch of like movies and short films and music videos on our own. And we were like, we can do this for other people. We could probably like scale this into a business. So we did that. And ever since then, we've been full time with it. I just recently released an album or a couple singles off my new album. It's You and Breakdown. They're both on the Young Creatives YouTube channel. You can just search Young Creatives or Riley Mobz on like Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. But yeah, pretty much Young Creatives is like a vehicle. We like to consider it a vehicle for anything or any idea we ever have at any moment. We can use funds from the business to pursue that. So like things that we're not as talented in, but we like to do still, like paint, or sometimes I do like some funny comedy skits. Like these are things that we don't have to really have any like expectation for because we just want to do them. So our whole thing is like
Good.
making it how to make money. Like one of the things we talk about a lot to like other creators is like how to make money doing what you love in this entertainment art space, because it's like one of the most difficult things to do.
Right.
So that's a big motivator
Yeah.
for us, is like motivating other people.
Cool. That sounds
Mhm.
amazing. And I've actually seen some of your is it TikTok videos, right? The skits on
Yeah,
TikTok.
like
Yeah.
well, I actually just started a TikTok.
Quite
I think it's
funny.
like Reels,
Mm-hmm.
the Instagram Reels and stuff. Yeah, like so like naturally, like I started out doing like funny stuff. Like I was like a class clown growing up, and then I taught myself how to play guitar at an early age too. So I was like, what do I do with all these skills? Like I never knew what I was gonna do, but I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I think I'm gonna do something cool. Like I was like, I wanted to like entertain people. I knew I had that personality. So it manifests in so many different ways. And sometimes it's kind of hard to like even tell people what it is I do, because it's like, Juan wrote a vampire film. We were in England and I was
Cool.
an actor in that. So I played a vampire with a
I
Manchester
love
accent.
vampires.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
You have to let us hear some Manchester accent, Let's hear it.
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's been a year since I've done it. So bear with me. But there's a line in the film where my character's like the crazy vampire,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to practice. And what I did was I watched Peaky Blinders for, for like
Okay.
6 months straight. I don't know if you guys know. It's like I think it's like Irish. I'm not sure. Like it's like
Uh,
gangsters.
okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, so I had to like get really raw in here, like in the
Yeah.
deep depths of my voice,
Yeah.
raw air. I had to like
Real
practice
Dracula.
that for so long,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. That sounds. Yeah.
I had a cast of obviously actual Manchester English artists, and they were able to like be like, okay, man, hey, you're too much on this, too much on that. So
Mhm.
it was a huge challenge, but it was awesome in the end. And that's something that, the Riley Mobz music persona doesn't really get to explore. So it's cool to be able to just do all these different things and learn and grow as I'm doing them.
Yeah, that's really cool. And how
That's
did you end up
cool.
in England? How did you decide was it your movie you were directing it, or were you cast to
No,
be?
my friend I talk about, Juan Gomez, he's like literally like it's me and him on this thing. Young Creatives is literally a duo.
Mm,
And he actually went out there his senior year in college for like a study abroad, and he
cool.
fell in love with the city. And this was like about a year before we started the business. And he came back. And when we started the business, I was like, hey man, like I want you to get out of this what you want, and I want to get out of this what I want. So we're gonna have a bunch of like moments where we gotta just grind, keep our head down, maybe some ramen noodle nights, right? It's gonna happen. So I told him, I was like, well, what do you want to do
True.
in the first year of the business? If we could do one thing that would make all that worth it, what would it be? And he said he wanted to go out to England and make a vampire film. And I was like, all right, consider it done. Like we saved up, you know, it was grinding. Eventually we went out there the first time. We weren't able to finish because it was such a big task. And he found a lot of actors via Facebook and Instagram, just like reaching out, getting audition tapes from people and stuff. And what we were impressed by was that so many people in that scene, that Manchester acting scene, are so hungry, so motivated, and they all have like amazing portfolios. And we had to literally cut people that we were like, oh my God, like you could literally be the lead in our film, but there's like 7 other people that could also be the lead. And it came down to little decisions like hair length and accents. Like maybe the accent was a little too distracting. We needed it to be sounding more Manchester or you know, and that's what he did. Like that was his film that he wrote and directed. And then we had another film that we made earlier the first year of the business also, which is a superhero film. And that's a film that I wrote and directed. So we both have our own films, but it's still a young creatives production.
I need to be in one of your movies because your movies sound cool.
Yes, she's an actress. Yeah,
I saw that. So
Yeah.
So we have one short film out right now. It's been out for a couple of years. We actually won the London International Film Festival. Cool. It was around like the very after a lot of like the social injustice was happening with the Black Lives Matter movement. We posted a short film called Wake Up, and the premise, I don't want to give it away. It's about 13 minutes, so you can watch it after this and tell me what you think. But the premise is 2 Black cops arrest 3 white kids. And that's, so we kind of flipped the narrative of what the reality of what you see. And we got like a really good response for it. And that was like the thing that kind of like validated in our minds, like these big movies that we have coming out, like, man, if they liked that, they're really going to like this other stuff that we've been putting years and years into.
Right.
But I can send you guys the link to that one. Like that one.
Really we're going to post the link in the description too. So
that'd be
our
great.
viewers can watch it as well. Definitely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So would you say you would be more on the actor side right now or the music side? Like, or you can't really decide?
Right now, it's definitely the music side. Where I'm at right now, we don't really have a lot of people doing films that are at the quality or like maybe like the consistency that I would want to like, because making a movie is like a year of your life. Just like, you know, you can't make as many movies as you can make songs. So at this point in my life, I'm kind of like just focusing on my music career. And obviously the business is always like my main focus. But as far as me, just music right now, pushing my album. These are songs that I've been sitting on for years, you know, waiting for it to be perfect. Or there were moments where I just didn't want to distract from the growth of the business. I didn't want people to see me as this rapper, singer, while I needed them to see me as a businessman, making deals and stuff. So where I'm from, the Midwest, it's not really like something that's common to be in the entertainment industry and be making money full-time doing it. So I had a lot of people still asking us like, well, where do you work? And, you know, what do you do when you're not doing this? It's like, you know, it's not a hobby, bro. It's like, you know,
that's right.
So yeah, just music right now is the main focus with these films that are already in the editing stages. We're really just doing special effects and stuff, getting them all perfect for the big screen. And then it's pretty much just music from here on out.
So that's cool. So you write all of your material as well?
I write. Yeah, and that's why it takes me so long to make music, I think, because I'm so like, I'll rewrite the same line over and over and over and over. But it's all me.
And how do you come up with the, like, inspiration? Because I always wonder, how do like singers, you know, come up with the lyrics? Like, how does the process do you have to sit down, or could it be something like you're out there and it just comes to you? Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. When I'm in my business brain, when I'm talking to clients and maybe I'm doing more editing type stuff, like editing music videos, I'm not really thinking with my artist brain so much. So sometimes when I write music after working like that, I'll be like, I need to make a pop song, or I need to make this. And like, I start to plan it. And then when you start to plan it, it doesn't really go the way you want it to. Like some of my best music is in the moment. So I've learned it's like a learning process of learning how to take real life experience and turn it into a song. I mean, I think that's why some of the greatest poets and some of the greatest writers, we hold them in such high regard, because they say all the things we're feeling, but in words that we would never use. Exactly. So that's like a really hard thing to do. But one thing that inspired that It's You song, my first single, was my first time on a plane ever was actually going to England for the film. That was my first time on a plane in my entire life.
Wow.
And I was 22 years old, you know, like I bought the ticket, I booked the Airbnb, it's our movie, you know, like it was such a proud moment for me.
Yep, that's
so
right.
And that was like a big inspiration for that song, because I finally felt like, you know, if I did have a girlfriend, or if I did have like, you know, a situation where I could like retire my mom. And I was thinking about all these things, and I was like, man, I really could like change people's around these lives now. Like that was such a humbling feeling, but it inspired so many lyrics on the album as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you're from Iowa, right? Is that where you're okay? Okay. Because I'm from the Midwest. I'm originally from Ohio. So I understand, like you said, with your whole the way that you're doing things, you know, you have your production company, you're doing other things other than music, which is great because it broadens your brand. So with that in mind, what do you have like a goal, like in a year or two, to work with anyone in particular to help, you know, broaden your brand even further?
Yeah. So one thing that we wanted to do, eventually what we're going to do with these movies that are coming out, we're going to like be pitching them to Netflix and Hulu and streaming services, distributors and stuff like that. And I haven't really gone through that process yet, but it's going to be really exciting. I know we got to get what's called like a film aggregator. And that's someone who like kind of like pitches your film for you and knows these people and stuff. So that's going to be very exciting. Personally, I'm not looking to sign to a label in particular, because since I've built a business already and I kind of know how to market, really, I just need to put the capital towards what I'm trying to do. And I have a lot of investments that are going to be paying off soon, but I'm so much like an indie person at heart. Like I still want to make indie films. Even when I'm a millionaire with $100 million budgets, I still want to make these indie kind of cult classic type films. And that's something that Juan, my business partner, also like loves. He's a big fan of like, you know, like that England music scene, that grunge, like Lost Boys, those movies, those types of like films that like really shaped cinema. So we're kind of considering ourselves like the new school of like cinema, the new school of independent entrepreneurship or music. And we want to like, look, I want little Black kids with dreads to look at filmmaking as an actual route, not just basketball and rapping. Like you can tell the stories of our ancestors. You can tell the stories of your life and make it amazing and digestible for fans and stuff like that. So that's what, and in him, like he's Mexican. So, you know, he wants to inspire other Mexican kids to be like filmmakers and stuff. So that's kind of what we're on. Like in the broad picture is like, just affecting change, you know, like flying out to these different cities with no real plan other than to just touch people and impact and influence people.
That's the best way.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely.
I love that. And so young creatives, so for people that are watching this, let's say they want to be part of your movement. Is that possible? Like, are you looking to grow the young creatives kind of brand?
Yeah, so right now we're in like a small city. Juan's from Chicago, and it's like a few hours away. So we're actually planning to move back to Chicago this summer. And that'll help with like in terms of like flying and stuff, because now we got an international airport right there, right? And we're going to be traveling a lot more. And we've already worked with a couple other photographers and videographers as far as like if we get a job that we maybe can't do. But as far as like permanent positions, it's really hard because young creatives is such a personal identity that we have. Like to maintain that quality or that sense of brand, I would almost have to teach you how to be me and Juan. And I don't want anyone to have to not be themselves to work for somebody. I think so. I think long term, yes, as far as like employing people and, you know, hiring assistant directors and paying producers to come in and collab and make a whole album from scratch, like those things definitely. But as far as like having like permanent staff members, like I kind of want, we both kind of want this to stay like our own personal vehicle to do other things.
Yeah. So young creatives is basically you and your friend, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And long term, like, you know, obviously one day I'm going to be old. I'm not going to be a young creative. I'll be an OG creative or an old creative.
Change your name to old creative.
Yeah. But long term, it's like we could have schools, you know, like art universities or maybe not even focusing on actually college, like free stuff. I'm talking like, you know, if you pass your high school classes, you'll get free access to the young creatives facilities and work hand in hand with high schools and middle schools to say, hey, this kid's failing math, but he's failing math because he's an artist, not because he's dumb or not because he's remedial.
Right.
And understanding that, hey, we can help you pick up the slack. If he comes and does a couple hours after school at the Young Creatives program, we'll teach him how to take these feelings of anger and put them into a painting, or take his theatrical goofiness and put him in a movie. And now he's getting value from what people are telling him is his flaws. And that's kind of how I see like young creators, like when I'm gray haired and I can't even walk and I can't even read what I'm signing contracts and stuff. Like I want to just be able to like meet somebody who's passionate, who's young, who is a young creative. They might just not know it yet.
But basically you're gonna like make it like your legacy. You're gonna, you know, continue your brand, your movement, and just put it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that idea. So when is the album dropping?
I believe March 10th. That's I think the date. It's either gonna be March 10th or 11th, depending on if it's like midnight or something like that. But yeah, March 10th is the date. Okay for Now is the name of the album, and I think I'm gonna drop one more song before then, so then I'll have like 3 singles out. But yeah, there's so many. I held back so many dope songs because I was like, I hate when artists do the thing where they drop their 3 best songs and then the rest of the album is like decent, like okay.
Yes.
So I was like,
Same.
I had like 4 singles and I was like, okay, let me do the 2 that I like the most, but the 2 that are like the most commercial that I think will be the most popular are still yet to be heard on the project. And
would this be your first album that you've dropped?
Yeah, because I think I consider the one I did like when I was younger in college, like that was like 5 years ago. I considered that like a mixtape. There wasn't really like a conscious effort of like a vibe or a mood that I was trying to set. It was just whatever beat I could get for free that no one would sue me.
Yeah, you're just kind of starting out then. Yeah, so it's
exactly.
a lot has changed. So I guess this is brand new for you. And how would you describe the album? You know, I believe you were kind of mentioning it's kind of like a late drive kind of music.
Yeah, like night drive music is kind of how I describe it, because I've had a couple articles written about me and I just wanted to see like what everyone else thought. And a couple people described it as like, you know, like melancholy, like upbeat melancholy. And I was like, that's pretty true, because sometimes I have like sad lyrics, but the way I deliver them is kind of like happy.
Yes.
So I would say, just like night drive, in your feels. When I wrote the album, I pictured like whoever's driving, whether it's a guy or a girl, they're with their significant other. And it could be the music that you listen to after you just had a fight or after you just had a romantic moment with each other.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's songs for all those range of emotions, but it's very much like introspective, kind of like in your feels a little bit.
I agree. Because when I saw the video, was it broken? Which
It's You is the
it's You.
It's You.
Okay, It's You. I instantly got that vibe. Yeah. I love that song. Yes, definitely.
The funny thing about that video is that boat actually, like, we actually crashed. If you remember the end of the video, there's a boat. When the boat takes off, it actually hit this concrete thing underground.
Oh no!
Thank God no one knows. So you guys are getting the scoop.
Oh wow!
Exclusive.
What? You would never know though, because I mean that flow was everything just went together.
Worth it though.
So you never know.
Yeah, worth it. Totally worth it.
Right.
And the restaurant. There's actually a restaurant that that my crew like robs in the music video.
Exactly.
That's actually my favorite restaurant in the world, by the way. Gianna's Beef here in Cedar Rapids. Got to shout them out for letting me fake rob them.
Let them know.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Was that your girlfriend that you were that was kind of dancing?
No, it wasn't. No.
Okay, I was wondering. I started asking if that was your girlfriend.
Yeah. That's one thing. That's funny.
Because
I do have a girlfriend now, and that's one thing I struggle with is like, okay, well, I don't believe in having your girlfriend be the model in every single one of your videos, because I think that would get repetitive.
Right.
Personally, if I was a fan to see the same person, and then it doesn't really give other models or actors a chance to do stuff. Me personally, my videos are like movies. I don't do the whole like girls twerking, degrading kind of thing.
That's great.
No shade. No shade. That's just not my image.
Right there you go. Yep.
I could see if I did a feature with an artist and he wanted to do like cool, but like I really want to stay in that R&B kind of like smooth zone. I'm kind of like not on that wave. So my music videos are actual chances for actresses, like people to actually play a character, not just look attractive and stand there and shake shake booty and stuff. So
yep, that's cool.
That's interesting. Yeah, definitely.
Very
And like,
good.
are you planning to do like a little tour, a little performing here and there to promote the album?
Yeah, I have a couple performances coming up. I'm really focusing on the promo tour first. And then once I come back to it, because I'm gonna go to these cities, a lot of these cities I'm going to for the first time. And then once I establish, like I have some promoters I'm working with there, I'm gonna like establish a relationship and then come back out because my company actually throws shows and concerts as well. We do like music festivals and stuff. So I kind of want to work hand in hand and kind of like merge my fan base with another venue and do like a cross promoted tour and not just, because I would love to perform for like 30 people crowds and 40 people crowds, but I know I could bring out more than that. So I'd love to plan a tour maybe later this summer or something like that.
Is there any cities that you've put on map, or is it not confirmed yet?
Oh yeah, so we'll be in Denver, March 16th through the 22nd. April we'll be in Dallas. Obviously, in between all these, we're flying out of Chicago, so we'll be in Chicago multiple times in the next, 6 months. We're gonna go out to Atlanta. Hey, girl.
Yeah,
Then we'll be in Seattle as well, and then I think that's it right now. But there's a new city getting added every couple of weeks. Like if we find someone that we think is like I'll fly if I can work with a couple producers and we can collab with some models and do a photo shoot and like really just I want to get us out there in every way possible because young creatives can really just be in every industry. So I want to just do that, just be in every industry and just do everything.
Cool.
Absolutely,
I look forward
I love
to
that.
coming out.
Yes,
I'll be waiting for you.
We gotta go to the strip club because I hear too many stories about this Atlanta strip club scene. I gotta see what it's about.
Well, you know what? I'll let you and your friends go. You know what? People think I'm crazy. I get bored. I'm just like, okay, I mean, you know how that goes. But yeah, you guys probably would like it. The men would probably like it. Yeah.
Make sure you bring your girlfriend with you.
Right. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll do.
You'll enjoy it. You have a good time.
Right. So I feel like we've pretty much discussed your music, your acting. You also have your own merch, right?
Yeah. We haven't dropped a new line yet. We're gonna wait till I think the springtime to do that. I'll have some album merch when my album drops next month. I'll have like some hoodies with my album cover on it and some cool designs and stuff. But yeah, it's weareyoungcreatives.com. And that's like where you can view all of our stuff. We have I think like over 15 different designs, like hoodies, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, all that stuff. So yeah, that's what awesome. That the clothing line kind of spawned from us just being bored and like we were drawing so much and we were like everything in the young creatives like thing is it was like, wait, you can do that? That's a skill you have? And then we realized each other's skills and then we're like, oh well, let's monetize that. Yeah. So Juan's more so like, he's the guy who like prides himself off like perfectionism and he's very, very astute when it comes to like the production side of things. And then me, I'm more about like people and like marketing. And it's like a dance that we do for young creatives to work at its peak potential. And it's beautiful, honestly, to watch because it rubs off on people that we work with. And the number one like compliment we get before like all the quality and like all that was dope, it's always like, man, I had fun. Like I love being on set with y'all. Like, cause we're working with people that it's a lot of the times it's their first time ever being filmed or, it's their first time ever being on a set with lights and cameras and stuff. And to make that experience an amazing one, a memorable one for them, even though it's like our 10th one we've done this week or something like that. Right. Like it's really special. We try to like walk in every time we do a shoot, we try to walk in with that mentality that, don't get jaded to the experience. Like remember these people, remember these memories. Like it's special.
Cool.
I love that. Absolutely.
Definitely.
What was the website again where you can get the merch again?
It's We Are Young Creatives, so WEARE youngcreatives.com. And we have, I think I'll have my my album stuff on there in about a couple weeks before the release, just for people that want to pre-order and stuff, probably like half off or something like that. Like,
that's awesome. We'll definitely check that out and make sure I'll put all the info in the description box. And before we go, I just wanted to ask you, like, obviously there's people out there who aspire to do some of the things that you do or maybe all of them, and what would you kind of give them as an advice in how you finding it yourself, because I know I'm sure it's hard to like
one thing I'll say is I believe in sacrifice like in everything. So if you choose one path, there's going to be another path you didn't travel. And that's just what we call life. That's balance, right? So if you have a 9 to 5, which most people do, and you want to break out of that, I think the number one thing would be, well, first off, stop spending money on things you don't need. Stop spending money on things that aren't fueling your passion, right? So
No
you're
Starbucks.
taking yeah. Well, I would say that, but Juan drinks coffee like no one's business, and he needs that. So that's an investment for him. When he drinks coffee, that's an investment to the business.
Stay awake.
I'm not gonna lie.
There you go.
but ultimately, you gotta. So the way we saw it is like when we started doing creatives, like I had just worked at Dunkin' Donuts. I worked every job known to man. Like I worked there for 3 months and then quit and then found a new job. Realized that I just wasn't meant to have a boss. That was the thing. My personality type just doesn't go well with people telling me how to mop and to clean toilets. That's just not me. Can't do it.
Right.
Can't do it. And Warren was just graduating college, so he didn't really have any work experience per se. He'd worked at Target, I think, for a couple months. But so when we started Young Creatives, we started it with the mindset that this has to work. It wasn't something that was like, oh, well, if this doesn't work, we still have our jobs. Because I think as soon as you have that luxury, it's impossible to put the type of mentality you would put towards something if you were dependent on it 100%.
That's true.
So one thing I recommend is if you work a decent job, or if you hate your job, get a job that you can manage, that you can stand at least enough. Get a job at FedEx, you'll get free printing for your albums, get a job at a radio station where even if you're just cleaning bathrooms, well, once you make a song, you might be able to get it on the radio because you're connected there. Just little things like that. And then ultimately save up money for 6 months, ask your job, hey, I want to pursue this. I love to be the model employee for 6 months. Don't be late. Don't be belligerent. Don't be insubordinate. Do all the things they want you to do for 6 months. Get a good rapport and then ask them, hey, I want to take 3 months off. Save your money also. This whole time you're saving your money. Ask them, hey, I want to take 2 months off. I want to start this business. I want to see if I can do this. If I put all my, if it doesn't work for me, would you hire me back? I guarantee you that job will say yes. I guarantee that job will say yes because
if they say no, they should call you.
Right.
Hey, if they don't, but here, that's why you're asking first. You're asking them first.
Right.
And in that 2 months,
advice.
And in that 2 months, you pursue it. You go hard every Monday through Friday, the same way you were working. Go hard for your business, and you stacked up that money, so you're not worried. Because that's the main thing, right? Like, why would I give up this guaranteed money, although there's a ceiling on it for, I could make $5 in a month, and that would be terrible. That would be detrimental. Well, if you save your money, you can do that. So that would be my biggest advice, because I think anything else I say, it still comes down to that step. It still comes down to the legitimate step of how the hell do I paint for 6 months and make my $1,000 rent payment or my $1,500 mortgage payment? Like, how is that going to be possible? I'm like, well, it has to be sacrifice on the front end to allure you, free, more leeway on the back end. So save your money so then you can not make money, because you're probably not going to make money your first 2 months of business. So it's just a give and take, honestly.
Very good point. Very good. Very good.
That's
and
amazing.
if you're an artist, find your own voice. Find your own voice. If you're like an artist, like on the artist side, the creative side, find your own voice. It's cool to have inspirations. It's cool to have role models, but you got to find out what makes you you, because no one else can be you. The moment you try to be someone else, you're instantly going to be number two, because that person is going to be number one.
There you go.
So if you're number one,
free gems.
You,
yes,
that's right.
Free gems.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Hey, where to go at, baby? Hey, it's a great song.
So great to have you on tonight, Riley.
Definitely.
Looking forward to the album and seeing what's next from you. And was lovely to have you tonight.
Definitely.
Thank you guys so much. It's been an honor. I'll be in Atlanta. I'm gonna.
Yes, I'm looking forward to you coming to Atlanta. Make for sure you let me know, because I'll be out supporting you.
Then you can play the Lil Wayne, Make It Rain. Make it rain.
Right. And I will tell you which clubs you need to go to for sure. I'll give you a heads up. Yep. You'll have a good time.
Thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.